Good morning, prospective and new students of the Faculty of Science and Technology. Welcome to the University of the West Indies, and thank you for making the UWI your place to shine. I am your moderator this morning. My name is Dr. Sherene James-Williamson, and I'm the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Matters in the Faculty of Science and Technology. We have a relatively short program for you this morning, and within that, we have some presentations from the bursary, the health center, from your guild representative. We have also a little tidbit for you on online learning and how to prepare and how to get yourselves ready to come into the university to start that. We have presentations from our departments, and this is very, very important and necessary to help you to prepare for coming into the university. Now, there are a few things I'd have to tell you about the university that I think is most important, even though I know you've already selected UWI. First of all, the University of the West Indies is the top university in the region. We are in the top 4% in the global ranking of universities across the world. And this is something that we take great pride in. And consider yourselves now, as you are about to register for your programs, a part of this number and a part of this, I would say, most elite population. Without going on and on about UWI, I think we can introduce to you our first speaker. He is the Dean of the Faculty of Science and Technology. I'm going to introduce Professor Michael Taylor. He will come and speak with you a little bit and welcome you and introduce to you the Faculty of Science and Technology. Welcome, Professor Taylor.
Good morning. It is my pleasure as Dean to welcome you to this pre-orientation session, which marks your first structured and formal introduction to the Faculty of Science and Technology, or FST as we call it. For whatever reason, you have chosen FST as the starting point for your university career, and I'm sure that many of you are eager to get this new phase of your life underway, even if that eagerness is tinged with feelings of nervousness and uncertainty. I can almost hear some of the questions going through your mind. Will I be able to pursue my dream career if I didn't have that subject? I love science, but really, what do I do with a science degree? Will I have to do that subject again? Are there scholarships and bursaries that can help me pay for my university degree? I was a student leader in high school. Are there opportunities for doing so in FST? What's the difference between a 3 and a 4-year degree? Can I still do a minor in psychology even if I'm in FST? And about that groundbreaking research FST is famous for, can I get involved in that even as an undergraduate student? If even one of those questions has passed through your mind, then welcome to FST's pre-orientation. Pre-orientation is about getting you prepared for when the starter says go and the sprint, walk, or run to your eventual degree is underway. Pre-orientation is about ensuring that you feel as confident and as comfortable as possible heading into your first class, assured that you've got this. Pre-orientation is about the faculty demonstrating that we too are eager to have you as part of our family, and we can't wait to ensure that your time is fulfilling, stimulating, and transformative. Let me say that again. Fulfilling, stimulating, and transformative, or simply put, that you will have a true FST experience. As Dean, I hope that I will have the opportunities to interact with you, all for good reasons, of course, like when you make the Dean's list based on your academic excellence. However, my first request of you is simply to make the most of today's happenings. So grab a pen and a paper or your favorite device, listen keenly, and do the following. 1. Make a note of the things that catch your attention and which you are going to follow up on. Those course offerings and degree options that you never heard of before or never knew existed. The holistic program which you will participate in for well-roundedness. The student activities that spark your interest, and those scholarships that you are going to get. 2, make a list of the essentials you will need to begin the process and last the journey. The faculty handbook, which details regulations, requirements, and all course options. The minimum specs for the device you will need to ensure connectedness and connectivity. And the names of people, like the Associate Dean for Undergraduate Matters, or the Associate Dean for the Student Experience, or your head of department, who you will consult for guidance on the journey. And finally, 3, make a record of what's going through your mind as you listen today, especially surrounding the demands of university life, the need for personal responsibility, the importance of time management, the necessary prioritization of activities to ensure the degree goal is ultimately achieved, and the required intellectual rigor and the associated demands of commitment and discipline to achieve honors. Use today to make those jottings, and then my challenge is to consult these notes leading up to your first class and at the beginning of each semester of your first year. Treat them as your bucket list, and you will be surprised that as you cross them off as accomplished, you will be well on the way to having that fulfilling, stimulating, and transformative experience that I spoke about, that FST experience. So welcome, be engaged. I look forward to meeting you all.
Thank you, Professor Taylor, for that very enlightening presentation. In fact, if there was ever a pep talk that a new student needed, those are all the pointers to take on. If you take all of those on hand and work with them, you will be quite prepared and you can hit the ground running. At this point, I'm going to introduce to you Mrs. Sharon Williams-Brown. She is a counselor, senior counselor at the counseling unit at the University Health Center, and she will give you a small talk about the various aspects within the health center and how you can utilize their services as part of your preparation for university. Mrs. Williams-Brown.
Good morning, students, incoming students to University of the West Indies. I wish to start by adding my own words of welcome to those of you beginning your UWI journey at this unforgettable time in history. You're coming to UWI at a time of challenge and change, and so your experiences will be different in several ways from the routines your friends went through last year. So you're pioneers. One thing that will be the same, however, is the need to look after your health while you are a student. Health has several dimensions, such as emotional, occupational, physical, social, intellectual, and spiritual. This presentation will focus on just 2 of those aspects, your physical and your emotional health, otherwise known as your mental health, is a term you'll probably hear more often. Now, the World Health Organization defines health in a specific way. You've probably heard this before, so I may be reminding you that they define health as a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Now, that's a very interesting definition to think about in the time of COVID-19. I leave you to reflect. So there are times when our health will be good, and at times we may be in a state of ill health. Which state we are in depends a lot on our actions. COVID-19 is another illness which reminds us of how even small actions on our part can have a significant impact on our health. As you all know, simple acts like wearing masks and maintaining social distance consistently reduce our chances of getting the coronavirus. So as this slide says, you are responsible for the choices you make that affect your health. However, the University Health Center partners with the campus community to achieve optimal health by educating about health matters and by providing care when a community member becomes ill. The University Health Center provides several resources for staying ill and for dealing with illness if that occurs. Services offered by the Health Center on a full-time basis are medical services, or doctors or nurses are there, and we also have a fully stocked pharmacy. We also have counseling services. That's a part of the team that I am a part of. And our team includes a psychiatrist, as well as trained psychologists. There's also the public health nurse, and in that case you're going, why would we need a public health nurse? One thing that will affect many of you may be the need for immunizations, and it's our public health nurse who does that. We have a dental clinic, which does all routine dental work. They can offer all of those services, and if something is more complex and they're able to handle, they're able to refer you appropriately. We also offer the services of a part-time nutritionist. Optical services are not offered, but we can refer you to ophthalmologists or opticians in Kingston. Please note the information on this slide about the health center. For those of you already familiar with the Mona campus, the health center is located at 11 Gibraltar Camp Way on the road that runs from the gate at the post office up to Irving Hall, and we are close to the Irving Hall end. You may want, like Prof. Taylor said at the beginning, making notes, so you may want to make a note of the telephone numbers on the slide. Just a word to point out that the opening hours posted are those from last year. With the changes brought about by COVID-19, the health center may close earlier next semester, but the exact times will be confirmed at the beginning of the semester. Also, because of the pandemic, we are currently advising students to call to speak with a doctor or to set an appointment rather than just walking into the health center without an appointment. In our section, the counseling service is operating mainly by offering telehealth services through video conference or telephone appointments, and those can be set up by calling the counseling service, and again, they do a health card provided by Sagicor. Interestingly, you will be making history in yet UWI Health Center, but at other health providers in the Sagicor network. Please note, though, that at the health center, a doctor's visit does not require a copay. So you swipe your card, and that's all you need to do. However, if you visit your own doctor, you will need to make a copay, and the card only gives $350 towards that doctor's visit. However, when it comes to pharmacy, so your doctor writes your prescription, that is covered the same way whether you come to the UWI Health Center or you go to a private pharmacy. So just to know again that that's another change that is coming up for those of you who are entering this academic year. Now, the information on this slide is critical. Most of you will stay well for your entire 3 or 4 or more years at UWI, and we'll never see you in the health center because you're fine. But if you should get ill at a point when you have an exam, whether it be mid-semesters, whether it be final exams, or if you have an assignment to hand in which you could not complete because of illness, then a medical certificate is needed to allow you to be excused from that exam or to have the assignment handed in late. Some of your lecturers will request that. But this must be routed through the health center. So when your private doctor gives you an excuse, it is still going to have to come to the health center. And it is for that reason that health problems affecting you at exam time or affecting your being able to complete labs and assignments, those things are best seen at the health center, where immediate decisions can be made, and if an excuse is to be given, it can be sent with no delay. However, if there's an emergency, you are free to see your private doctor, but that doctor will need to fill in a UWI medical certificate on the prescribed form. This form should not be sent to the faculty or administrative offices, but should be sent to the clinical director at the health center under confidential cover, because it's not a regular sick leave form. It actually gives some information about your illness, which is why we want this to go doctor to doctor. So you're either coming to the health center if it's going to affect exams, or you go to your doctor and they send something to the health center. I hope that's clear. Just a word about our department, since I'm the one representing, I get to talk a bit more about us. And the counseling service located at the health center has its own section. We offer one-on-one sessions to examine issues such as personal concerns, academic concerns, relationship issues, anxiety, depression, to name just some, and any other concern that a student would want to address in a confidential setting. Confidential is in bold because no information can be released about counseling contacts without written permission of the student. And to say that the service is staffed by 5 psychologists and a psychiatrist. Another counseling resource to be aware of is what we call UWI Helps. It's our anonymous phone and WhatsApp counseling service. The ad does say a 24-hour service, but because it's manned by only 1 staff member, this really means you'll get a response on the same day you make contact. So some people opt to speak to UWI Helps first, rather than waiting to get an appointment a week or sometimes weeks later. But with UWI Helps, the response is immediate. Sometimes it's immediate, but sometimes it may be a few hours later. A quick word too on sexual harassment advising, because the counseling service, our head of unit, also carries that portfolio around sexual harassment advising. Dr. Debbie Ann Chambers, her picture is on the slide, is a person who has that responsibility. Please note that there's a sexual harassment policy which defines what is sexual harassment and the steps that can be taken if this occurs. And those steps run the gamut from informal mediation through to an official hearing by the university. The university has put these measures in place to indicate that it does not tolerate sexual harassment and is prepared to act if it is reported. One last bit of information about a group you may be interested in joining. Professor Taylor talked about what can you do, those of you who've been student leaders. Some of you have been peer counselors at your high school and may be interested in continuing to do that sort of work or something similar. So we want you to know about our peer support providers. These are students who are available to help others by listening supportively and referring as needed. They are trained and supervised by the professional counselors at the University Counseling Service. The other thing they can do apart from one-on-one support is deliver workshops on personal development issues. So if you're part of a club who want somebody to come in and talk about some things from a peer point, the PSPs are good for that. If you're interested in being a PSP, then in September, please contact the counseling service and inquire how to apply. And I want to end simply by saying our very best wishes for a successful year. And again, the information for the University Counseling Service is on that slide. And if you haven't made a note, you might want to do so. And feel free to contact the University Health Center at any point that you believe that we can be of service to you.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Williams-Brown. Our students need to realize that one of the most important things in their transition from high school into university and their university life is taking care of your mental health. One of the things I'd like to remind them too is that when you start your program, if you end up with any issues, whatever you need to discuss or describe, you don't have to even give us the details of what the situation is. Find your advisor. We have forms that we can refer you to the health center so that you can seek some advice and seek some help from very, very early. At this point, I'm going to introduce to you our next set of speakers. And it is with pleasure that I introduce Ms. Danielle Mullings and Ms. Savanah Grant. They are President and Vice President of the Guild Council for the Faculty of Science and Technology. They are going to speak with you this morning on Get Involved, the student experience. Please bid them welcome.
Dear FST Pelicans, it is an honor and privilege to serve as this year's president of the FST Guild Committee, aka FST GC. As we navigate through a time of immense change worldwide, our team is dedicated to enhancing the student experience, whether online or in person. On behalf of your Guild Committee, it is my distinct pleasure to welcome all new students to the Faculty of Science and Technology. We are the Faculty of Greatness. It's going to be a great year. So I want to introduce you first to the various faculties that are at the University of the West Indies Mona campus. Faculty of Engineering, Humanities and Education, Law, Med-Sci, Social Sciences, and of course our faculty, the Faculty of Science and Technology. Now, an FST student is very different, right? We the students are of paramount importance to the faculty itself. Scitex is comprised of innovative, creative, thinkers, multifaceted, very creative and overall passionate students who are willing to amplify and edify their voices in the community. We look forward to meeting you and aiding in your development during this monumental period of your life. So Scitech has various different departments, 6 departments and 1 section. So we're going to go through them one by one real quick. First, we have the biochemistry section. It's not a full-on department, but of course, still very valid as its own section. Moving on, we have the chemistry department. Of course, there's some students pictured here. Moving on, we also have computing. Here we go, computing. Geography and geology. Life sciences, and the last 2 are mathematics, and then physics. All right, cool. So we're all from different departments, and we're all from different faculties overall as the University of the West Indies Mona campus. However, each student is a part of the Guild of Students. The Guild of Students is then run by the Guild Council that leads everyone overall. But your Guild of Students and Guild Council is the official student representative body at the University of the West Indies. And furthermore to that, you have guild committees for each faculty. And that's where myself and my team come in. We're your official student representative for the Faculty of Science and Technology. So I just want to tell you really quickly how we're comprised. You have the president, which is myself. We also have the vice president of properties and special initiatives, vice president of service and special projects, and then we have many subcommittees, and you're free to get involved in any of these subcommittees once the semester starts. So feel free to look out for that and let us know if you'd like to join any of them. Public relations, separate from publications, department representatives, hall representatives, of course our own treasury, cultural and entertainment affairs, external affairs committee, and a game subcommittee. Now moving on from this, I have a quick message from our physics department rep. His name is Orain Green. Essentially, each department has a representative on the guild committee. So if you ever need any help, any advice, you have any concerns to share, this is one of your first points of contact for the guild committee. So let's have a message from Orain.
I'd like to tell you a little bit about my first experience. So my first experience was incredible. For one, I participated in FYE. I became CAC of my block. I got to have a great time on my hall, and I got to know myself a lot better. And my grades were just superb, and I had fun in every class. My lecturers were excellent. I do want to tell you the best way to make the best out of your first year experience. Be confident, competent, and courteous. Be nice to people. You make friends that way, and people are going through it. So kindness goes a long way. Be confident. Always participate. Participate if it benefits you and if you can do it. Give yourself that opportunity to find new things and new interests. And lastly, competence. Try to go to class to understand. Getting a good or bad grade depends on how well you understand. Well, that's all I have to say, guys. Be safe.
All right, so thank you, Orain Green. As I said earlier, each department has a representative, so feel free to reach out. This is one of your first points of contact. So we're going to tell you a little bit about what our plans as the FSTGC are for the upcoming year. But before we tell you what we're going to do, let's tell you what we've done already. We've been in place since July 4th, 2020, and since then we've hosted a freshers Q&A session. We've been engaging students online, over 300 students. And the third point that we've worked on, this is very important, we are in the midst of conducting a survey on online learning. So we're getting feedback from our students on what the semester was like, on the online portion of the semester was like, and how can we then improve it moving forward from the student perspective. Now, our plans for you going forward, we have a simple phrase. We say we are drop a bomb this year with the FSTGC. That means beautification, opportunities and development, motivation, and the last one is belonging. This comprises a 4-point plan to improve the Faculty of Science and Technology student experience, whether online or in person. So real quick, just some of our plans. I'm not even going to tell you all of them because you have to come here and experience it for yourself, right? But starting off, we have the FSTGC online bulletin and the FSTGC website, which will be launched soon. Of course, now you can have online issue reporting and get in contact with your department reps pretty quickly. YouTube live events, we have the opportunity to use the online space, and we're going full-fledged into it. Health and wellness seminars, the mentorship program, Club Fusion, which is where you'll meet the different club societies that you can get involved in, workshops for remote learning, and of course writing, how to better yourself in that aspect. We also have faculty success tales, which will be focused on highlighting real student experiences. We have such talented persons within our faculty, and we want to highlight and create a space for you to showcase who you are, what you're passionate about. Lastly, we'll have faculty events tailored to your interests where you can connect with peers and professionals. So I'm now going to hand over to the VP SSP, Savanah Grant, and she's going to speak to you about some of the faculty activities coming up.
Good morning, everyone. So as Danielle said, I'm your Vice President of Services and Special Projects for the Faculty of Science and Technology. So you come to me for any of your student affairs concerns, or if you want to know how to get involved in the faculty, if you want to know about the clubs and activities. So we're going to delve right in. On the faculty activities, we have the clubs and societies. We have a health and wellness seminar, which we host annually. We have inter-house cultural clashes and virtual parties. So if you've already been in communication with us on the different group chats that we've had, you know that we have a little party amongst ourselves with a different theme every night. We've had gospel, dancehall, soca, R&B, disco, everything. And it's very nice, very involving with everybody, and we have a lot of fun. Also, one of the main points that we want to focus on this year is mental health. So we're going to have the Health and Wellness Seminar, which we mentioned before, and we're going to have our Wellness Wednesdays, which focuses on physical well-being, mental health, and, you know, just how to take care of yourself while you're at school. And now we're going to go into the clubs and societies. So you have the Biology Students Association, you have the UWI Actuarial Society, Chemical Society, Electronics Club, Environmental Club, or UWI Green. You have the Geological Society, the Geographical Society, and the UWI Mona Computing Society. So no matter what department you're in, you're going to find a club or society that, you know, facilitates your needs and your interests. Next, we have the Guild outreach activities. So as Danielle mentioned before, we are a branch of the main guild. So you have the guild, the main guild for UWI, they have an EAC section, which is the External Affairs section, and they are in charge of volunteer activities and outreach activities so that we can give back to the community. Because you don't want to just come to UWI and do work and, you know, enjoy yourself. You have this great opportunity, so use it to give back to other people. So, you know, we have the beach cleanup, we have beautification projects, and so many other projects during the year. So our FST EAC is going to introduce you to that when you come to school. Next, we have a lot of on-campus activities. We know that because it's COVID time now, we're going to be online. However, a lot of these activities are going to be transferred online. So every Thursday, we have Integration Thursdays, we have hall parties, and we also have UWI Carnival. So, yes, I know that you guys are looking forward to a lot of these things. So we're working on getting it set up for you guys so that you don't miss out on any of the experiences that you're looking forward to. Yes. So next, we have our mentorship program. So if you're coming into UWI, I know that you probably have a lot of questions, like the dean mentioned before. How are you going to sort out your credits? How can you be involved? If you are in leadership positions in high school, can you still do that? What are the different activities on campus? So apart from the guild, the main guild, the FST guild, and the different clubs and societies, we're going to give you one-on-one help. So most or all first-year students are assigned to a second or third-year student, which will help them to navigate throughout UWI life. So you will learn about campus activities, you learn about your course selections, you learn about teachers, you learn about every aspect of university so you don't come in blindly. So if you're nervous, if you're the only one coming from your school, don't you worry, because we have you guys. The mentorship program is great, and you're going to be assigned somebody that will help you, navigate through UWI life. And I'm going to hand back over to our president, Danielle Mullings.
So you've just heard from our VP SSP, Savanah Grant, and you've heard some of our plans for the upcoming semester. But we can't end our presentation without speaking to some advice from the student level experience. Now, one of my favorite quotes is, if your actions create a legacy that inspires others to dream more, learn more, do more, and become more, then you're an excellent leader. This is said by Dolly Parton. Therefore, I encourage each of you to get involved, meet new people, and believe in your potential to be great. Trust in your astronomical aspirations and set foot on this journey with a centered and focused approach. We believe in you, and feel free to reach out to your guild committee if you need any help or assistance. Now, really quickly, the key to earning your degree lies completely in having exceptionally good time management skills. The trick is to read over your notes, do your assignments, attend all tutorials, and have fun while you learn. Now, this may seem kind of simple, right? So everybody tells you read your notes, go to your classes, but it really is as simple as that. You have to take the time to put the effort into the results that you would like to achieve. So read over your notes, speak with your lecturers. If you don't understand something, stop and ask your friend, how does this work? You have to be an active participant in your own educational experience. That being said, remember, earning your degree is one of your top priorities. Whilst you're doing your best to advance in an educational sense, you also have to be advancing in a personal sense. So we encourage you to get involved, seek out personal development. And again, if you have any questions, just get connected with your guild committee. Instagram at FST_UWI-Mona. And right now in the comments, someone will be sharing our links. So feel free to reach out, subscribe to our YouTube channel. If you're on LinkedIn, sure, your FST GC is also on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, anywhere you want, really. You have so many opportunities to connect with your guild committee this year as we go into the digital realm. So thank you for listening. This has been your FST Guild Committee 2020-21, and we wish you a fantastic year in the Faculty of Greatness.
I'm happy that you have shared with them all the exciting things that the Guild will do and how you will engage them during this time that we have this new normal. Now, our next presentation is basically describing for you how you will adjust to online learning. And for that, we have Dr. Gunjan Mansingh, who is also the head of Department of Computing. Please bid her welcome.
Hello everyone, I am Gunjan Mansingh, Head of Department of Computing at University of West Indies, Mona campus. We are living in a digital era, hence going online and virtual has become the norm. At the university, we have invested in an IT infrastructure to ensure that you have a seamless learning experience in this online mode. I'm here to tell you what we have put in place, what you need to put in place, what you need to know, what you need to do to ensure that you're fully engaged and you have a wonderful learning experience and you maximize that learning experience. So let me take you through what is this online learning. And there are many versions of online learning. The one that you will be doing with us is more a synchronous mechanism. And what does that really mean? So we'll have a digital platform where you have what we call content, which is your lecture notes, your slides, your tutorial sheets, all the content for the course is posted on that container, which we call our digital platform. Then there is a timetable where you're supposed to have lectures. The lectures will not be face-to-face in most instances. They will be virtual, and hence what we call it's a remote interaction during the lecture time. And then, collaboration, whether it's synchronous or asynchronous. And if you don't know what these terms are, synchronous is when I pick up a phone and you have to answer, and two people are having a conversation at the same time. And asynchronous is you send somebody an email and they may respond when they have time to respond to your message. So we have various mechanisms for synchronous and asynchronous collaboration. So now let's come to our digital platform. As soon as you register for your courses, which on a system which we call SAS, you will have access to this container, and all your courses that you're registered for will appear in this container. And the link for this is, we call it ORVLE, and the link is on the screen. Now, this container, or this digital platform, I should say, actually, ORVLE, is our virtual learning environment. And on this slide, I'm just showing you what it looks like, and it may differ from course to course. Where I have the content, it's telling you that for each course, people may post their lecture notes. This is a screenshot from one of my courses. So we have our tutorial sheets, we have our lab sheets. So everything is posted there. So it's in one place, you can just go and get all the material. Then at the bottom, you also see that you can, if you're given assignments, you can even get your assignment questions from there and upload your assignments in the same containers. Then you can even have quizzes, and these quizzes don't have to be multiple choice questions. They can even be essay type questions. Then on top, in the middle, I show you a little bit more about the synchronous and asynchronous collaboration. For asynchronous collaboration, we can use things like news forums, discussion forums, and you will learn a bit more about the differences in them when your lecturers will tell you about what they are using for various mechanisms of collaboration. The important one is this virtual interaction, and if you want to think of it as a synchronous collaboration, is, it's a virtual classroom where the lecturer is teaching in their space and you are in your space listening to what is happening. So for this virtual facilitation, we actually using something called Blackboard Collaborate. And in this Blackboard Collaborate, you will see the slides which are there. A lecturer could even use a whiteboard that is part of this tool to write on the screen, and that you can see. You hear them talking, you can even see their face. If they turn on the video, you can even see them in live in action. And there are various mechanisms there to create interaction. Now remember, it's synchronous. In a face-to-face classroom, when I'm looking at a student's face, I know whether they're getting it or not getting it. But in a virtual environment, that becomes very tricky, and hence you will see that there are various tools which this, the software provides for us, this environment. So you can raise your hand to ask questions. You can even provide feedback. Meaning, I love these emojis that are there, and you all are familiar with these emojis much more than I am. You can show a sad face if you're not getting something. You can ask the lecturer to go slower, and then the lecturer can decide based on this feedback as to how they should, how the content should really be developed. And there is a chatting mechanism too, that you can chat with the moderator, who's the lecturer. So there are different ways of, in this virtual facilitation, and the lectures that are being delivered will be recorded. Let me not say can, they will be recorded, and they will be available for you to view them later in case you have forgotten something. So I'm not asking you to take a snooze, but in case you need to go to the restroom, yes, you can go because the lecture is recorded. Now, when we are in a face-to-face, I see your faces. I know who you are. You come to our offices, you come to the department, and we see you in the lab, so we know who you are. in an online or a virtual environment, it really becomes hard to know, just a random person with no face. And hence research in e-learning, in online learning has shown that it is really critical you know who the person is. And they advise people to turn on their videos, but turning on videos may not be possible all the time. Not because you may not be dressed appropriately or may not be in a suitable environment, but it could be because of the technical bandwidth issues. And hence, I recommend everyone that they at least put a picture of themselves. And here I'm showing you that, this in the middle, the image shows a pencil, which is just nothing compared to a face of the person who's speaking to you. And that makes a much more impact when you're building a relationship, because you need to be active in this participation. You can't be a passenger who's just letting things go by. So you can participate in your discussion forums. You can ask questions on discussion forums. So be more active in this learning, and knowing who you are. The more questions you ask, relevant questions, the more you are putting on the chat sessions questions when you have issues, it makes it really easier for the lecturer to know and build a relationship with the students. Now, let's try and understand what do you need? What will you need to be in this online environment and to ensure that you are getting everything from it? I would break it down into hardware needs, software needs, and connectivity issues. So hardware, I have just laid out some minimum requirements with a laptop of 8 gig of RAM, 128 gig of hard drive. As a university student, you will get 1 terabyte on OneDrive, so you will get a lot of cloud storage. I've just recommended some screen sizes and a processor, which should take you through your few years at university. Now, tablets are good for viewing content. If you want to just look at your lecture notes, see what is happening, tablets are good for that. But if you're doing assignments, if you're taking quizzes, or if you are in computing, you're writing code, a tablet becomes much harder to deal with. So just be mindful of that we are recommending that you do get a laptop. And for the software, each course will have their own software requirements, and that the lecturers and the departments will tell you about when you are registered and you are starting the course. Now, if we are in an online virtual environment, connectivity is of course critical. So a stable internet connection would be needed. And as you know, that internet is a superhighway of information, and hence as a superhighway, there is a notion of cars going up and cars coming down. So you have data going up and data coming down. So I've just put out some minimum speeds so that when you go to your carrier's website, you will see that this is the language they are talking in terms of megabits per second. So I'm just stating what hardware, software, and connectivity you will need to be in this online environment. And what do you now need to do as a student? All these things that I've listed here are important for any student, but in a virtual environment, in an online environment, it becomes even more important. You need to be persistent, you need to ask for help when you run into challenges, because you will come in a classroom after class and ask the lecturer for assistance. You could go to their offices and ask for assistance, whereas in this environment, that may not be possible. So you have to rely on all forms of communication, and you have to know what those forms of communication are. And this is the biggest key to online learning, or succeeding in online learning, I should say. Time management skills, we all tend to be bad at it. And, it's one thing I've noticed in an online environment, time disappears. You could be watching something on YouTube and you keep on getting content that you like. It's in a loop. You're never going to get content you don't like, because you can just click away and go to something you like. So time will disappear. So just be mindful that when you are you manage your time. When you are doing class, make sure you are in class and you're not on social media. Make sure you log in every day. You come into the practice, into ensuring that you are following your timetable. You are watching if there are any pre-recordings and post-recordings of lectures, and not waiting till the end of the exam, not the end of the exam, the end of the term before exams to get into that. So be very, very mindful of time management. And basic technical skills, you cannot be afraid of a computer, because remember what I said, online is the new norm. So you must have access to a device. You can watch online tutorials, which we would provide, or they are there on on the internet for you to use certain tools. So just use them and make sure you attend your orientation sessions so that you understand what is needed, what you need to do. And I like this last one very well because we often tell people to multitask, but when we are learning, don't multitask. And we do that. You know, we are in a class and we'll chat with someone. We'll just go and check something on social media. And you find that research has shown that your mental capacity to absorb reduces by 40% if you're multitasking. So just be very, very, very careful that multitasking makes it harder to absorb your content. Now, at the end, I would like to say that learning is more effective when it is active rather than a passive process. And don't be a passenger in your learning. Take control, take charge, and make sure that you are active even in this virtual online environment. And all the best.
Thank you, Dr. Mansingh. New students, incoming students, I don't want you to feel intimidated because you're going to be online. It takes some preparation and it takes a little bit of doing. You will get it and you will get it right. You just need to keep up. You'll have everything at your fingertips and all will work the way it should. If it's not working the way it should, communicate with us. There might be something you're missing or something we're missing, but together we will get through it. So, the University of the West Indies. We have several campuses. Our most recent is the Five Island campus, which is in Antigua and Barbuda. We have the Mona campus that you'll be joining, the Cayville campus in Barbados, the Open campus that spreads across 16 countries, and of course the St. Augustine campus, which is in Trinidad. We have over 50,000 students registered in the University of the West Indies. The university, of course, is governed by the offices of the Chancellor, the Vice Chancellor, the Pro-Vice Chancellors, Registrars, and Bursa. We have here at the Mona campus 7 faculties. Our campus is administered by our principal, Professor Dale Weber. We have the Faculty of Engineering, the Faculty of Science and Technology, which is our faculty, and we have the Faculty of Humanities and Education, Social Sciences, Medical Sciences, the Faculty of Law, and the Faculty of Sport. In terms of our structure in the Faculty of Science and Technology, we have the Department of Geography and Geology, Department of Computing, the Department of Chemistry, the Biochemistry section. They are a department that sits in the Faculty of Basic Medical Sciences, but they are an integral part of the Faculty of Science and Technology. The Physics Department, Mathematics, and Life Sciences departments are also part of the Faculty of Science and Technology, and we are led by Professor Michael Taylor, who is our current dean. The faculty consists of many departments. So some of these terminology you will hear throughout the presentation, my presentation. You'll also hear them in the additional presentations that will come from the departments. So if we run through them very quickly, the dean is the head of the faculty. The department pertains to one subject area or discipline, and it has several majors. A major is a combination of several courses within a department, or in some cases, they cross departments in terms of individual courses that make up that major. A minor is a smaller combination of courses within a department or spread across more than one department, depending on how that program has been designed. Credits, these are the points awarded to each course. Usually we have 2 credits, 3 credits, 4 credits, and 6 credit courses within our faculty. We have courses, and courses consist of lectures, labs, and tutorials. And you will see this when you start to put your schedule together, when you start to make your registration selections. The semester consists of 13 weeks. A lecturer is the academic staff that teaches a course. The GPA is your grade point average. And of course, we want you to aim as best as you can for the highest GPA that you can, which is 4.3. When you eventually get to the point of graduation, a first class honors is between 3.60 and 4.3, upper second class honors, GPA of 3 to 3.59, and of course lower is 2.5 to 2.99, and a pass is 2 to 2.49. Some sources of information. First of all, you would need to get familiar with the university website, and by extension, the faculty website. There is a lot of information that you will find. On the website, you will find additional resources, such as the undergraduate registration and information guide. The regulation book is there. The regulation book is extremely important. It tells you what the regulations are that govern the particular degree or program that you are doing. The undergraduate registration and information guide is also very important, as this will kickstart everything for you. It assists you with course selection and course registration. The undergraduate handbook is also on the faculty website. You need to be familiar with your departmental offices, maybe not immediately, since we are still in COVID time and we're in sort of virtual offices, but certainly the department web pages will give you as much information as possible. You will hear a little later on about your academic and undergraduate coordinators who will be able to assist you. And you have academic advisors. These are lecturers who have been given the task to advise you on various aspects of your career and your tenure here at the UWI. The Dean's Office is a very important place. That's where you would find me and some very, very helpful persons. You can contact us through the website or via email. We also have brochures, notice boards, and of course the Facebook page. So basically these days our notice board is on our website and on the Facebook page, primarily because you can't walk around the halls just yet to be able to see information on our notice boards. But please keep abreast of what is happening. There's a lot of information to share. Some additional sources, your undergraduate coordinators. These persons you will find attached to your various departments. We have staff-student liaison committees. These are a staple, I would think, within the university. And whenever you go through your courses, whenever you go through your various programs, this is a sort of a yardstick. This is a place where you go and you have a class rep who talks to the departmental representatives about what's happening in your course or program. And it could be a place, could be kudos, it could be problems, it could be issues, but this information goes all the way up to the registrar. And whatever the issues there are, we air them, we listen to them, and we find solutions to them. The Health Center is an important resource. You heard about that earlier. Office of Student Financing is another very, very important area, which you also heard about. And the Student Administration Services, this is a place that you will spend a lot of your time. This is affectionately known as SAS, and SAS is where you do all of your requests. It is the system on which you do all of your registration and all other matters that you will need throughout your tenure at university, and sometimes immediately after. Placement and Career Services is another place that you need to spend some time. Eventually, you will need to branch off into the world of work, and Placement and Career Services is the place where they prepare you for this. The Office of Student Services and Development, this is the linchpin of all of your clubs and societies. This is the team that assists with, they're in charge of your halls of residence, and they help you to settle into university life as either a commuting student or a student who live in residence. The registry consists of the registry information systems, affectionately known to some of us as student records, admissions, the International Students Office, and examination sections are important parts of your university life. And the sooner you get to understand how these work, the better. Already, you would have interfaced with admissions, and some of you with International Students Office, but you will continue to interface with these, and exams, don't fret. They are efficient and they help you through as well. Some other resource persons, we have heads of department, we have our academic advisors and lecturers, we have undergraduate coordinators. Some of them are listed here. There is Dr. Lisa Lindo in the department, in the biochemistry section. Also there you can find our colleague Kisha Martin. She is going to give you a presentation a little later on about biochemistry. And we have Dr. Donna Riley, Dr. Coley, Dr. Fokum, Dr. Byrne and Steeman from Geography and Geology. We have Dr. Boyd and Prasad from Life Sciences, and Dr. McDaniel and Dr. Louis Ray Harris from Mathematics and Physics, respectively. Each department has majors. Students must satisfy at least one major in the Faculty of Science and Technology. So you must do the major in the faculty in which you reside. So even if you're going to try to do two majors, and we would have to have a separate conversation about that, but if you decide, for example, you wanted to do two majors, one of those majors must be within the Faculty of Science and Technology. If you are, you can also do minors. Your major would consist of 30 credits, depending on your subject. Some departments require 39 for your major, some are 42. It depends on what your program is. But overall, for level 2 and level 3 together, you need 60 credits. And those 60 credits must be obtained from level 2 and level 3. And that is what would build up the level 2 and level 3 part of your degree. Your minors usually are 15 credits in a subject area. And of course, you can combine major and minor from the Faculty of Science and Technology across departments or across disciplines within different faculties. And that's a conversation you can have when we go on to discuss your with academic counseling as you continue to select your courses and decide on what you want to do while you are here in the Faculty of Science and Technology. So some of the minimum, some of the requirements and how many credits you can do. Now, if you come in with CSEC passes, a minimum of 24 preliminary credits, and you will end up doing a 4-year degree. So what does that mean? You're coming in with CSEC, no CAPE subjects. You basically are going to have to start at level 0. And that would be almost the equivalent of getting CAPE in 1 year at the university. So after you've completed that, you would move on to level 1, then 2, then 3, hence giving you a 4-year degree. How is that different from a 3-year degree? If you have, for example, another 4-year program here, if you have 1 CAPE or 1 A-level pass, normally you have 12 credits and you have 12 preliminary credits. So you can do some level 1 courses and some preliminary year level courses. So you'd be straddling 2 years. As such, you could complete in 3 years, depending on how the additional credits for level 2 and level 3 are organized. If you have 2 or more CAPE or A-level passes, you would normally be allowed to do 24, but up to 36 level 1 credits. So you can cover courses from 3 disciplines or courses from 2 disciplines. And this would give you the 3-year degree, because then you might decide to just go into level 1 and continue on. But if you decide on a major for which you do not have the CAPE courses, then you would then have to do a preliminary year. Repeating a course which you have already passed, that's not allowed. Full-time, in terms of the number of credits, for a full-time student, you are allowed 15 credits per semester at least, plus 1 foundation course, which gives you 33 credits for the year. As a part-time student, however, you're allowed up to 12 credits per semester, plus 1 foundation course, which allows you 27 credits for the academic year. Students who are on scholarships or those living on hall may be required to register for full-time study. So if you live on hall, there's no option, you cannot select to do part-time. Some general entry requirements: you need 5 CSEC courses, mathematics, English, and any 2 science subjects, plus any other course, any 2 CAPE sciences, including mathematics. So you need both units. You need Unit 1 and Unit 2 from your 2 CAPE subjects to be able to get into the Faculty of Science and Technology. Now, depending on the department you want to get into, you will need the CAPE unit for that particular department. For example, if you wanted to do chemistry, chemistry level 1 or chemistry first year requires you to do mathematics, and it requires you to do chemistry. So certainly you would need to pass chemistry at CAPE, both units, and you would need to pass mathematics. And the mathematics that is required there, just for your information, is pure math. But don't worry about it. You'll be advised further in August when you start to do registration. But in the meantime, check the faculty handbook. It's on the website. It will provide a lot of information for you during this time. Foundation courses. You're going to hear about foundation courses from your start to the end of your university tenure. Now, you will have to take courses in English, or let's say there are English foundation courses. One is Foundation 1019, which is year-long, and the other one is Foundation 1014, which is in your first year, in semester 2 for Faculty of Science and Technology students. So here are some conditions. How do you select which one of these to do? Do I need to do Foundation 1019 or Foundation 1014? So firstly, if you have a grade 1 pass in CSEC English language or its equivalent, or if you have a grade 1 or 2 in CAPE Communication Studies, or if you've passed English Language Proficiency Test, the ELPT. If you have met any one of those that I've listed before, then you would register for Foundation 1014. If you have any other iteration of that, you would then have to register for Foundation 1019. And that is very, very important to remember. So replacing 1101 and 1301, you can replace one of these foundation courses with a modern language. So for example, you can replace 1101 or 1301 with Japanese, Chinese, French, Spanish, Portuguese, or Haitian Creole. You are not, however, allowed to replace 1014 or 1019 with another language, and you cannot use sign language as a replacement for any of those courses. It must be a modern language. Credit requirements. So at level 1, you need a minimum of 24 credits. There are programs that require you to do 36, but a minimum of 24 credits in order to graduate. For level 2 and 3, you need a total of 60 credits minimum. Mind you, you can have more than the 60, but you must cover the requirements for your major for that 60 to count. And you need 3 foundation courses, which gives you 9 credits. In total, your minimum requirement for graduation is 93 credits. So you must satisfy your major. So within that 60 credit minimum, your major must be satisfied before you can start adding any other numbers to that. So of course, that means you can graduate if you have 93 or more credits. And of course, if you can graduate, you must graduate. This is a summary now of the GPA and how the credits are used. So the GPA ranges from 0 to 4.3. Yes, 0. Unfortunately, some people find their footing a little late and their GPAs are a little low, but I would implore you, try to hit the ground running and try to get your GPA above 2 all the time. Try to work assiduously on all of your courses. You have a GPA for each semester and GPA for each academic year. So at the end of each semester, when you do your exams and you get those results, you will see a value there for GPA for that particular semester. At the end of the academic year, once you've completed 2 semesters, you will find the total GPA for that academic year. The class of your degree is based on your degree GPA. So this now I'm teaching you how to read your transcript. This is calculated based on the GPAs of all your level 2 and 3 courses. So what this is saying is that your level 1 courses, they don't go towards the class of the degree and the degree GPA that you have. However, you need to pass them, and you need to get good scores above 2, because if you get GPA that is less than 2 in 2 consecutive semesters, you will be asked to withdraw, which is a whole new conversation, which we don't want to have, right? So let us try to keep our GPA above 2. So if you fail a course, your GPA takes a hit and it will be lowered. So let us start off on good footing, good GPAs above 2 all the time. The university pass mark is 50, which means you must get 50 to pass. Some courses, some programs within the Faculty of Science and Technology, you must pass coursework as well as your exam to be able to pass the course. So in many courses, you will be expected to pass your labs, your fieldwork, your tutorials, and your exam to be able to have considered passing the course. Oh, so this is the requirement to withdraw slide. And I don't like to have this conversation, but it's almost one of those things that happens. You don't want it to happen. It might happen, and we have to deal with it. But don't panic. Just work assiduously, and let's try to get our GPA above 2. If something goes wrong, we work at it. There are ways that we can deal with this, but just know that if your GPA is less than 2, you're going to get a warning letter, and it goes on your file. And if it is less than 2 in 2 successive semesters, you'll get a letter of withdrawal. And sometimes you can request a waiver, but not all the time this works. And sometimes after you've been asked to withdraw, you have to sit out of the university for a year. You don't want to break your studies. You want to just keep going until the end. So the aim here, GPA is above 2 all the time, okay? You must attend our study skills workshops. We're going to have them. Now it's virtual, so we can have them. As many students as possible can attend because we don't have the conflict of having room size being a problem. So, of course, this is the sad part. If you don't manage to keep your GPA above 2, we have a problem with graduation. In order for you to graduate, and this is Regulation 7C, in order for you to graduate, you need your GPA to be above 2. If your GPA is less than 2, you can't graduate. And you know, in university, we don't give certificate of participation. So GPA above 2 is what we're aiming for. No low GPAs, right? So this cohort, you're being told, no low GPAs. We're going to work together to get GPAs that are 2 and greater, right? No withdrawals, no warning letters, and everybody will graduate. That is my challenge to you. So in terms of the registration process, you must have your ID number. This would have been somewhere on your acceptance letter, and a password. All of this would have been sent to you when you received your acceptance letter, and the ways to get onto the system. To add courses, you would select courses by first selecting the correct semester to find the CRN number that matches each course. In order to do this, you would need to go to the university website, select current students, and you would need to, or you can select the student administration system, which is SAS. So you can click on SAS or you can click on current students. It will take you to the same place. When you get there, you will enter the secure area using your username and password. You will enter it here. Once you have entered your username and password, it will take you to a new window where you will click on Student Services. Within the Student Services menu, there are many, many, many modules and links that you will need to do various things throughout your university time. So you'd click on Student Services and click on Registration. Once you click on Registration, you'll be taken to a page where you will be able to select the term and select your courses. So you would look up courses to add. But as it says there, we have online guides, so you can go ahead and go to the faculty website and pull down the guide. Alternatively, you can wait until we send you the dates for the online assistance, where somebody will be there with you, maybe via Zoom, maybe via Blackboard, whichever one that we set up for you to be able to use, and we will be able to guide you through registration quick and easy. Don't be intimidated. How to access your course material? You can get your course outlines, your lectures, your tutorial questions, in-course tests, labs, your lab manuals, all of which are available to you on our online environment, which is affectionately known to us as our VLE. And this is our virtual learning environment. And this is where you would go to find all of your course material. When you log into that, once you have registered for your course, you will see all of your courses and you'd be able to access your course material. And if you have a lecturer like me, you have badges and a welcome message and all kinds of other things that you can interact and interface with. So here, you could go to the university website and click on current students, or you can alternatively just click on the OUR VLE link. You then log in using the ID number and password that you would have used for registration, that you use to access almost everything within the university. And once you get onto that, you will see all of your courses and you'll be able to interact with them, send messages to your classmates, you can send email to your lecturers, and you can follow up on material that's there. The university assigns you an email. It's usually your first name dot last name at mymona.uwi.edu. It is very, very important that you access and set up this email. The university sends you all of your information through this email address. They communicate with you through this email address, and you might miss out on a scholarship opportunity because you don't access this email, right? There is a message board and it sends stuff all the time. Some people don't like it, but I think it's very, very important because this is how the university communicates. And you will be able to utilize this for almost everything that you'll do. It's very important as well to have your Mona address, because if you use something else to submit your assignment and, well, let's just say something goes wrong. I can't tell if Hotmail went wrong. I can't tell if Gmail went down, but at least your UWI Mona, if something goes awry, our MITS can tell you that something went awry at this time, on this day, at this very second. Also, if you use your UWI email, we know it's you and you're accessing your lecturer or tutor. And so we know if we're sending you information, we're sending it to you because it is your email address and not prettyeyes at hotmail.com or something. So it's very, very important for you to use your UWI email. To access your UWI email, on the UWI main page again, notice how important this page is. I've showed you everything related to what you need in the university on this front page alone. So you click on email, and that will take you to a portal that you will click on myuwi.edu, and then you can link into your email. And of course, this is how you would access. You would log in, you would put in your username and password, and you would be able to access. Now, if it is that you've decided to come to university, but something goes awry during the period that you're waiting, maybe your funding didn't come through or something else has happened, then you will have to request a deferral of entry. You must pay attention to these deadlines, however, because there are deadlines up to which you can defer entry and after which, well, it's not so easy. Okay, but you must check all these deadlines in order to be able to discontinue without any issue. All of these slides will be available on the faculty website, so we'll upload them and you will be able to access them right after this presentation. Well, right after this pre-orientation session, rather. You can get general information from the Dean's office. You can send us email messages. You can also telephone us. We'll put all of that information in the chat, and so you'll be able to access it. You must attend student advising during registration week. This is how you will know exactly what to do. Somebody will give you some academic counseling and guide you through the process of course selection, because sometimes we come in and we're not quite sure what we want to do. We just know we want to be in university, and we're here to assist you with that process. Thank you. So now that you've heard from me, and I'm sure you've heard quite a mouthful, we're going to have some presentations from our departments. And these presentations, I want you to pay keen attention because they're going to tell you what the department offers. They're going to tell you what the careers are, and they're going to tell you how you can interact and interface with the department and its staff, and what you can do with a degree from that particular department. Also important in these presentations is how you can connect various courses and programs across departments and across faculties. Please ensure that your questions, you post them in the chat. We will be able to answer them during our question and answer session. And some of the questions that are very, very specific, still put them in. We might be able to communicate with you otherwise to help you to solve those issues. So thank you very much. And without further ado, I will bring on our departments, and they will come to you individually from their department representatives.
Good morning, students. I'm Ajani Ausaru, lecturer in the Department of Mathematics in the Faculty of Science and Technology. I would like to welcome you to the University of the West Indies, and in particular, the Department of Mathematics. In spite of the very parlous times the world is experiencing right now, we are very prepared to make your experience here, your undergraduate experience that is, a very fulfilling and rewarding one. And as a member of the Department of Mathematics, my task here today is to talk to you a little bit about what is it that the Department of Mathematics has to offer. So, being the core department in the faculty, we are located right in the very center of everything. Our closest neighbors, of course, are the departments of chemistry, physics, and of course the engineering and science library is right next to us. We're located right there in the central part of what we call the spine in the Faculty of Science and Technology. And the Faculty of Engineering is somewhat facing us. Why are we the most important department? If you have a passion for mathematics, then lots of careers gives you that chance to use mathematics as an outlet. And almost every program at the university includes some aspect of mathematics. Some of these programs, and this is not an exhaustive list, but they do require mathematics, and they include physics, computing, chemistry, engineering, law, medicine, management studies, and even economics. And why are we special? We are the only department in the Faculty of Science and Technology that do not offer labs, and we do not have to wear lab coats, so no extra cost there. And also in our department, we don't require that passing coursework is mandatory in order to sit your final examinations. As a matter of fact, we believe that 50 is 50, and in whichever way you attain your 50%, that's fine enough for passing any given course. We also do not get you out into fields where you're going to be bit by mosquitoes, and we are a very small and very closely bonded department. As a matter of fact, we are considered one of the most friendly departments in the Faculty of Science and Technology. We really care about our students, and we are very close-knit, and we form very nice relationships and useful relationships to our students. How important is mathematics? Mathematics makes you smarter and puts you ahead of the pack. And with mathematics, you're bound to get or land your dream job. Basically, every good position in the business world requires that you have some proficiency in mathematics. And our very livelihood is dependent on your ability to computate, to critically think, to problem solve, to analyze, and to synthesize. And so we live in a world now where we have lots of problems which, affect us day in, day out. And having these critical thinking skills that we try to impart within our courses will enable you to navigate this world. Some of our programs that we offer are the BSc Mathematics, our major and minor, our BSc Mathematics and Modeling Processes, our BSc Mathematics with Education Studies, our BSc Statistical Science, and the BSc Actuarial Science. And of course, our most recent program, the BSc Mathematics of Finance, which is fairly new. So just a little bit about our BSc with Mathematics. This program is focused on equipping students with knowledge and technical skills that will take you out into the world and prepare you for high-level positions in teaching, the commercial sector, the financial service, and industry, the public sector, and of course, even working with government. Our BSc Mathematics and Modeling Processes, this program is designed to provide a very strong background in analysis and to develop very high technical abilities in application of mathematics to the real world. And this will gear our students for careers in teaching, industry, financial services, IT, management, consultancy to government, as well as industrial research and development. BSc Mathematics with Education Studies. Mathematics education has long been a government priority. This unique degree gives our students an understanding of how people learn mathematics, and so you learn the mathematical pedagogy and you also learn the mathematical content. And employment opportunities are widely available. The teaching of mathematics has long been a government priority. And as you know, we do have a problem in our country, a drain in terms of our mathematics teachers being recruited for jobs abroad. And so our government has made mathematics study, especially at the undergraduate level, being a trained graduate, a priority, and has even offered scholarships to students who take up mathematics. So we believe that this is a very excellent program that creates an abundance of opportunities, and we encourage our students to partake in this program. That is the BSc Mathematics with Education Studies. BSc Statistical Science. This program is aimed at furthering the development of critical and analytical thinking, and especially in this day of big data. And we're living in a time now with the pandemic, the COVID-19 pandemic, and researchers worldwide are scrambling and dealing with very large amounts of data in trying to get a hold on how this virus is behaving or will behave. And as such, a degree in statistical science, based on possible outcomes and informed decisions, will allow you to properly analyze and interpret big data. And the skills will be valuable to any industry, including government, as well as the private sector. Our BSc in Actuarial Science, this program aims at preparing our students to evaluate and manage and advise on financial risk. And you are taught business, economics, probability, statistics, of course, hardcore mathematics, investment theory, and it prepares you to be able to properly analyze and foresee risk. It prepares you for the external examinations in the field of actuarial science. And the core of actuarial work lies within pensions, banking, finance, investment, healthcare, human resources, and of course, private consultancy. BSc Mathematical Science. For those of you who don't want to become pure actuaries, we have created this degree. It's a combination of mathematics and financial expertise, and it allows you to have the satisfaction of pursuing a career in finance with a very healthy dose of mathematics while looking at a wide range of financial topics. It has a very rigorous mathematical foundation, and the program seeks to prepare students to apply mathematical and statistical skills to financial applications. Our Mathematics Bridging Program is a program that's offered particularly by the Department of Mathematics, where we try to meet our students halfway, especially our students who haven't done mathematics to the CAPE level. And we try to give you personalized attention. We try to fill those gaps that you may have in your mathematics knowledge, and we give you personalized and individualized attention. So we expect that if you know that your mathematics needs a little polishing, please speak with us as the semester begins, and we will try to make sure that you become a part of this very useful and important program. That's a Mathematics Bridging Program. It is offered only in semester 1 and goes on for approximately 8 weeks, 2 hours on every Thursday. Within our department, we also have club activities because we are very bright people, but it doesn't mean that we are very boring people or that we are too nerdy. And we have one of the most dynamic clubs in the university, the Actuarial Science Club. We also have the UWI Global Etiquette Society, and of course our mathematics clubs. Our clubs are deeply, profoundly involved in outreach activities, and they include but are not limited to the Mathematical Olympiad competition held each year. And this is just a snapshot of the fact that, yes, we are bright people and we are what you may consider sometimes nerdy people, but we know how to have fun. All right, and this is a snapshot of some members of our actuarial group, our actuarial club, the actuarial society, having a lot of fun. And we are sure that you will become a part of this as soon as things gets back to some level of normalcy. And while our students play hard, we work just as hard, and here are just a snapshot of 2 of our recent students who have been exceptional nationally. We see there Mr. Everett Mosley, who won the Prime Minister's Award, and Mr. Timor Jackson, who was also a Rhodes Scholar in 2013. And while we work hard, we produce world-class individuals who go on to contribute profoundly to nation building. And here's just a snapshot of some of our staff, our mathematics team, our actuarial team, and our statistic team. So we look forward to seeing you in September, be it online or be it face-to-face, and we know that you're going to have a beautiful sojourn here at the University of the West Indies, and in particular in the Faculty of Science and Technology, and working closely with the Department of Mathematics. Welcome once again, and thank you.
Good day. I'm Dr. Coley from the Department of Chemistry, UWI, and of course I'm a lecturer in chemistry. Now, I would simply like to welcome you to the Faculty of Science and Technology. It's an excellent place to begin and to build your future. And what better place to do it than with the Department of Chemistry? So you may be from different high schools, colleges, maybe from universities, but we want to welcome you and to tell you a little bit about what we do. So there are several different majors in chemistry. There are 4 majors: a major in general chemistry, a major in applied chemistry, a major in food chemistry. We also have a major in environmental chemistry. Through these majors and all our courses, what we aim to do is to educate you so that you can think critically, be innovative, and be problem solvers. These are the skills, the competences that you can use to achieve your dreams wherever those dreams take you. And look at some of our past students. Certainly, we have students who have been through our programs and are now working in major overseas labs. We have one student who is actually a lawyer, having completed a major in applied chemistry. And you may not recognize it, but the lady in the top left-hand corner is, in fact, a lecturer, having gone through our chemistry programs. You too can achieve your big dreams. So let's talk about some of the majors in chemistry. First up, the general chemistry major. In this case, we focus on aspects of pure chemistry, that is, physical, organic, inorganic, and analytical chemistry. However, we build on top of those core courses and deal with things like medicinal chemistry, materials chemistry, analytical, and of course, inorganic chemistry. You get the chance to participate in an undergraduate research project that might lead you into areas like cancer research, drug discovery, making new materials, or perhaps making new catalysts for major reactions. Let's mention our applied chemistry major. In this case, our focus is to focus on major industrial issues. We look at problems within an industry, we look at the chemistry involved, and of course, we work out the issues and solve the issues. Let's look at food chemistry. Now, a range of exciting things are involved in this particular major. Certainly, it's built on top of the regular basic chemistry courses, that is, organic, inorganic, analytical, but then we go on to things like food processing, the chemistry of foods, food safety, and how we assure quality. So, of course, we look on the actual analysis of foods, but we also process raw materials into foods that we either can or process in other ways that are shelf stable, and you get a chance to participate in all of this. Yes. Then there's environmental chemistry. Once again, it's based on the core chemistry. However, we go out into the environment, we look at real issues, we assess those issues and develop solutions. So we go through atmospheric chemistry. We look at aspects of soil or marine or freshwater chemistry. And there is the option of participating in an undergraduate research project once again, where you tackle a real life environmental issue and of course develop solutions for it. So why should you do chemistry? There are a range of issues, a range of possibilities, and they are all worthy of study. Chemistry is a gateway to getting into other careers that you may find interesting. So let's say you want to get into medicine or engineering. Well, the concepts of chemistry will serve you well. And if you want to go into your own business, even if you want to simply make soaps, then chemistry is an interesting gateway, an interesting pathway to lead you into those careers. You can go on to do a master's in chemistry or a doctoral degree in chemistry. So where do chemists work? Well, they work several different places all over Jamaica. But we don't just train you for working in Jamaica, we train you as a scientist for the world. So, of course, there are food-based industries, heavy industries like cement or bauxite or sugar, and then there are analytical laboratories where you can display your skills. So if you don't wish to do a major in chemistry, are there options to do a minor? Certainly. There are 5 minors in chemistry. You could, for example, be doing a major in physics and pair it with a minor in chemistry, a minor in general or food chemistry. You could be doing a major in biotechnology, for example, along with a minor in food processing. So, of course, 5 minors, and you can simply select the appropriate courses to augment the major that you may be doing from a different department. So, are there special degrees? There are 3 of them that we would like to pinpoint. There's a special chemistry degree. So what's that? It really is a major in chemistry along with additional exciting courses in chemistry. And this prepares you for the world of research. So if your interest is to come up with that next new drug or that next new chemistry-based process, special chemistry is for you. But what if you want to teach chemistry? Then we have a major that is a BSc degree that is especially geared for that. It's the Chemistry and Education degree. And if your view is to go on to be a manager within the chemistry environment, then there's a chemistry and management degree. We have a range of different courses, applications of organic chemistry in medicine and agriculture, for example, chemistry process principles. But for now, we just want to focus on those which you might be doing in your first year. The preliminary chemistry, if you're entering with CSEC passes, or level 1 chemistry, if you have CAPE chemistry. Now, let's talk about the level 1 chemistry courses. These are brand new courses. You will be doing these courses for the very first time. We have, within semester 1, Chem 1810, Chem 1820, and Chem 1811. Chem 1810 and Chem 1820 are lecture-based courses. They are 2-credit courses, relatively short courses, both done in first semester, and you have the option of doing the Chem 1811, which is the laboratory course, which is run in that semester. In semester 2, you could go on to the Chem 1910 and the Chem 1920, and of course, there's a lab which goes along with it as well. These courses qualify you if you wish to move on to medicine, engineering, or any other discipline that requires chemistry. How do you register? Simply make sure you have both units of CAPE. And then you register for Chem 1810 and Chem 1820 in first semester. And of course, you could choose to also do the laboratory course, Chem 1811. And it's the same format for second semester. Remember, register for lectures and tutorials. There are 2 lectures per week for each course, and of course a tutorial, and the lectures are repeated. Now, suppose you have passes in CSEC chemistry only, grades 1 to 3. Then you could register in our preliminary chemistry program, Chem 901 and Chem 902. Chem 901 for first semester, Chem 902 for second semester. So, do we do math in chemistry? Yes, we do a little bit of math. However, it is math which simply complements the chemistry. It is math which simply gives you that extra edge to appreciate concepts which will help you to understand the chemistry better. Not difficult courses, courses which you can manage and do well in. So there's Math 1185, which deals with a little bit of calculus for scientists and engineers, and there is Stat 1001, which of course is our statistics course. How are our labs organized? Well, we have labs Mondays to Saturdays, but no labs on Thursdays. Labs are 4 hours, and you only need to do 1 lab session per week. Many of our labs and lectures as well will be online this semester. And of course, we are confident that you will enjoy the labs. So of course, if you look at the individuals in this picture, you can see that a broken foot does not distract you from attending your labs. And some of our labs will actually be virtual, and hence you can access them from anywhere you are. How are we examined? Well, many of our exams are going to be online. It's key that you prepare, simply attend your lectures, pay attention in your labs and tutorials, work hard, read widely, and the exams will be a mere formality. The exams are a first step to graduation or to moving on for other courses, so prepare carefully. Now, let's talk about some other aspects of chemistry. We have a chemistry honors society, and we know that once you give all your attention to our courses, you can be inducted in our honor society. There is a place for you to shine. What other facilities do we have in chemistry? Well, we have an in-house book rental system. We have peer-led tutorials. And of course, we have the UWI Chemical Society. The Chemical Society meets weekly on Thursdays, and they take you on trips to industry, and you get a chance to discuss several different aspects of research and meet persons who live and dream chemistry. The peer-led tutorials, I should mention that, because it allows you to learn aspects of chemistry from other persons who would have done the courses the year before you. So it's peers teaching peers. Let's talk about chemistry and our students interacting with the world. We participate in international competitions, and our students get a chance to go abroad and display their science to the rest of the world. And yes, we celebrate because quite often we are the winners. Food chemistry, look at some of the foods that are prepared, but not just the foods. Think about the chemistry involved in preparing those foods. Those are some of the things that we focus on. We tell you, welcome to chemistry. We are anxious to have you participating in our courses, in our programs, and combining our programs with other programs from the faculty or from other faculties. We know that you will do well and you will enjoy not just our courses, but the program and the experience overall. Chemistry is your place to shine. It is the place where you can hone your skills, be your best, and fulfill your dreams. We'll certainly take a couple of questions, and remember, experiment with a chemist. You will love the reaction.
Hi, everybody. I expect that you've all been welcomed so far, so I just want to extend a hearty welcome from the Department of Physics and to congratulate you on your entry into the UWI. So I want to give you a brief walkthrough of the Department of Physics and to get you really excited about it. Now, some of you in the past may not have been interested in physics, but I promise you, at the end of it, you'll be interested, and we have something for you. Whether you did physics before or not, we have something here for you. So the Department of Physics, we're relatively small, but we have a lot to offer. Academically, we provide a very challenging environment, and because we are small, the personal interaction between yourself and the lecturers is very good. So in our department, we will offer you what is very practical, a very practical experience, a very hands-on and very fun experience. And it will be a very different experience from what you had in high school or any other time before when you said, nah, physics isn't the thing for me. But I promise you that what we have to offer you will be very, very different, and you'll love it. So we have 5 majors, and these 5 majors we've designed to give you an entry into the world of physics, into areas that are quite exciting and on track right now. So if you're into theoretical physics, so if you've watched Big Bang Theory and you really like it, and you want to be a theoretical physicist, if you want to go into things like astronomy and so on, general physics is the major for you. If you are interested in continuing to higher education, or if you want to become a physics teacher, this is also the major for you. If you're interested in telecommunications, control systems, engineering types of solutions, then we have an electronics major for you. And if you're into computer science, don't worry, we have an offering that allows you to combine electronics and computer science. Then we have a very exciting area. It's called material science. So this is the physics of materials. This impacts every single area of life because it's materials. You can go into any type of manufacturing industry. You can go into forensics, and you can work in the standards industry where we'll look at what is it that they have given us. Is it really doing what it says? So another very hot topic out there is energy and environmental sciences. So any type of industry that you're going to know, the big thing for everybody is renewable tech, because everybody wants to save. So under our energy and environmental physics major, you look at renewable technology, solar, wind, hydro, integrating energy systems. You'll do courses like physics of climate, atmosphere, climate change, and fluids. You can take this to the Met Services and to other environmental agencies. So if you're interested, again, in physics in medicine, if you're into medical instrumentation, we have a major for you that is called medical physics. Recently, we developed 3 new programs that will take you way out there if you want to be working among the hot topics and the hot researchers now. So we have climate science and electronic systems. That's an entire program that you will do when you come into our department. So we have electronics and alternative energy as another program of choice. You can do biomedical instrumentation. And as I said before, we have electronics and computer science that you can combine to give you your major. So if you're not really planning to come and stay with us in physics, full-time, no problem. As I said, we have something for everybody. So if you're more into chemistry or into life sciences, we have made it so that you can do a minor in renewable energy management. As I said, if you're in chemistry and you go out into industry, that industry will be very interested in renewable energy. So that's an added bonus for whoever is going to employ you because you have a minor in renewable energy management. And let's say that you don't want to take the entire minor. We fixed it so that we have an offering for you. And the great thing with this minor and our individual offerings is you wouldn't have had to do physics before. So we've designed this program so that you can fit right into our department. So we have an offering for essentials of renewable energy technology and solutions. So this will be our first semester course. In the second semester, you'll do advanced renewable energy technology and solutions. So if you're a chemist, if you are a life scientist, and you go out into industry, you have a lot to offer because you have a very good understanding of renewable energy. For those of you in physics who would like to remain with us for the long haul, we have a great set of research areas. So again, we have some hot topic areas. We have climate change and variability, and this will include some computer modeling. We have renewable and alternative energy research, where you can look at the efficiency of these systems, and you can do it in the local context. And we also look at new technologies and hybrids of these systems. We also have research in electronics that is geared towards signal processing and developing novel applications in speech and image processing. We also have a research in satellite systems. Another area of research for us is material science, and this covers a wide range of things. We have forensic fire analysis, so we actually have a fire research lab. We have novel materials for road aggregates. We have a bioglass research team, and we have advanced research in semiconductor development. We also have a medical physics research group, and they look a lot at medical radiation physics. What about our facilities? So we have our undergraduate laboratories that you spend most of the first few years in. We also have a virtual lab that will accommodate any simulations that we would want you to have access to. We have a wind turbine, we have solar panels, and we have newly installed solar modules that will be a part of your energy program. We have a weather station, we have very large telescopes. As I said before, we have the fire research lab, and we also provide space for extracurricular activities. So we have the astronomy club, we have the medical physics club, and the electronics club. What do you need to do when coming into our program? So coming in, you have, there are different levels that you will enter at. If you are coming from the CSEC level, then you will come in at our introductory level, and the courses that you will take are listed on the board, Phys 0411, Phys 0412. All of these courses are your introduction to physics. So if you did CAPE, but if you did CSEC and you did not do CAPE, we have you covered with our introductory courses. If you did CAPE, then you will come in on our level 1 program and you will start your degree at this point. As always, physics has something to excite you, so we have the Physics Honors Society. So all of you coming in have great potential, and I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, will end up in our Physics Honors Society. So this is fantastic because we have our breakfast treats twice per semester, and you will be introduced to speakers within the different areas of physics during this time. All right, so you'll get to meet people in the industry. We have several programs in our department that allows you to travel and study. So we have the Huawei Seeds for the Future program. This is a 2-week cultural and work experience trip to China. We have the Sophia University program where you go for 2 weeks to study in Japan. So our department facilitates travel. Or if you're not going to be traveling, then we will seek to bring the world to you. Right here in the pictures, the Professor Klaus von Klitzing was a Nobel Prize. He won a Nobel Prize in physics in 1985, and he came to see our students. And so we try as much as possible to bring science from around the world to you. In addition to our department, our groups, we have the Robotics Club, and for the last few years, they have placed 3rd in the international competition, and so we do have a lot to offer you if you are into things like robotics. Okay, so we will have career talks for you, and so if you click the link, if you go to the web page or UWI Physics web page, you will be able to have access to our career talks. Okay, so thank you so much for not clicking off and tuning out, but to stay with us and learn all about physics and what we have to offer you.
Hello and welcome to the University of the West Indies Faculty of Science and Technology. And in particular, the Department of Geography and Geology welcomes you and congratulates you on making it on this milestone. My name is Thera Edwards, and I am the map curator in the Department of Geography and Geology. And I'm very happy to be sharing with you a little bit about the department that I call home here on campus. First, I'd like to introduce you to our head of department, Dr. Donovan Campbell, and to say that he and all the other staff are delighted and will look forward to seeing you when you come out in September. So what is geology when we have this geography and geology department? We have geology as the science and study of the earth, its composition, structure, and physical properties. It's looking at the Earth's history and processes that shape it. And so geologists study the physical structure and processes of Earth. And they also seek to understand the long-term history. We're talking the millions of years kind of history of the planet. And what is geography? Geography is a study of the Earth's landscapes, peoples, places, and environments. And what I like about geography, it's like just about everybody's subject because it bridges that gap between the social sciences, people, what we call human geography, and the natural sciences, what we call physical geography. So how do you get to geography and geology, or what would you need if you're interested in registering in this department? First of all, there are the basic faculty requirements of 2 science subjects at CAPE. And if you are going to be doing geography, we ask that you have done CSEC geography to be able to do geography at the University of the West Indies. Now, just a little bit of note about some of our requirements in the department. We are a Get your hands dirty, get out there and experience what you are learning kind of department. And so we do field work and we have field trips. The field work and field trips are often on a Saturday or Sunday or both. We do have weekend long trips. And as a result, you have to be prepared to do classes on those days. And those field trips and field work are mandatory for the courses that you're doing. We also have tutorials where we go through what you are learning in lectures in a little more detail, and those are also compulsory, mandatory classes. So at the undergraduate level, we offer the BSc or Bachelor of Science in Geography or the Bachelor of Science in Geology. We also offer the Bachelor of Arts in Geography for students registered through Humanities and Education. So in our department, you can be registered either in the Faculty of Science and Technology or in the Faculty of Humanities and Education. You can have a major in Geography, a major in Geology, and we have a hybrid program which takes in a mix of Geography and Geology courses called Geoscience. And the Geoscience major straddles the two areas. You can then minor in Geography and Geology, or we have a Human Geography minor as well. Some of the courses that you might do in our department are Population, Migration and Settlements, Urban Geography and Urban Regional Planning, World Economy, Agriculture and Food, Geographies of Development, Geography of the Caribbean, Climate Change in the Tropics, Climate and the Biosphere. We also have Tourism Planning and Development. We have Earth Processes, Geomorphology and Soils. We look at Disaster Management, and we know that's very topical right now. Tropical Land Management. We have Geographical Information Systems and Remote Sensing, and we have course in Environmental Change. For Geology, there are a whole suite of courses. We have Earth Materials and Plate Tectonics, Earth Processes and Historical Geology. We have Paleontology, which is also good if you're somebody who's interested a little bit in taxonomy and you might be doing life sciences as well. We have Sedimentology, Igneous and Metamorphic Petrology, Structural Geology and Geological Mapping, Hydrology and Hydrological Modeling. Very topical right now as we're going through drought, not only in Jamaica, but in a number of Caribbean islands. Caribbean Geology, Minerals and Mineral Deposits, the more economic side of things, Geological Maps and Environmental Geology, Field Geology, Water Resources, Geophysics, Sedimentology, Environment and Facies, Petroleum Geology, and we again offer in this program GIS and remote sensing. So we have the undergraduate level, but we also have postgraduate level programs. We offer at this time research programs. There's the MPhil in geography or the PhD in geography, the MPhil and PhD in geology. And of course, you're seeing some of our very vibesy postgrads on the right, and you're seeing them hard at work at their desks in their postgrad room as well on the slide. Now, while we have a lot going on in the department, you can also combine the courses in geography and geology with some courses from other departments to make some interesting career options. With chemistry, many of our students do the occupational and environmental safety and health courses. With the Department of Life Sciences, they often do programs in marine sciences, and quite a number of students have been doing course combinations in physics. So like if you do climate physics and paleontology, you can look at paleoclimatology. For petroleum geology, and you do the renewable energy courses in physics, you are now looking at a bright career in the energy sector. As you know, we're exploring many types of energy, not only petroleum, but we're looking at renewable, solar, wind, and so on. Now, some very important people to help you navigate all of this as you're seeking to find your career pathway and your best academic program would be our undergraduate academic coordinators. You have, for the geography section, Dr. Michael Byrne, and for the geology section, Dr. Thomas Steeman. The department also has some specialized units. We have the earthquake unit, which is a research unit of the department, which is directly funded by the government of Jamaica through the Ministry of Science, Technology, Energy, and Mining. The earthquake unit is a hub for earthquake monitoring and research, and it has the central recording station here at the UWI Mona campus, but it also operates the Jamaica Seismograph Network and the Jamaica Strong Motion Network. So those earthquake bulletins you see coming out about the felt earthquake bulletin that tells you where the center was located and the magnitude, that's the work of our earthquake unit. We also have in the department the map and image library. That's where you'll find me. So as the map curator, I am the person that will help to find aerial photographs, maps, satellite imagery, and the map and image library has some large tables, specialized equipment like light tables, and of course we have not only digital maps, but we have lots of maps on paper covering not just Jamaica, but the Caribbean. And then the other place that you'll find interesting is the Geology Museum, and we have a number of geological specimens, and of course we have fossils. From time to time, we do facilitate tours of both the Map and Image Library and the Geology Museum. The department also has a number of clubs and societies affiliated with it. At the student level, we have the UWI Geographical Society, and we have the UWI Geological Society. Professional organizations that we have associated are the Jamaican Geographical Society, the JGS, and the Geological Society of Jamaica, the GSJ. So you've done your program in geography and geology. Where are you going to work? What are some of your options? You can work in industry, petroleum, energy, mining, water. There are a number of environmental agencies or private companies. You can become an entrepreneur. We've had students who have launched their own businesses. You can become a consultant. You can work within government, National Environment and Planning Agency, Urban Development Corporation, ODPEM, a number of places. There are research centers. The Earthquake Unit is an example. Seismic Research Center out of St. Augustine in Trinidad. There are specialized laboratories. There are museums. And of course, you can be like a number of our staff and return to teach at the University of the West Indies or some other college, tertiary education, or in the high school system. So you can look at careers in urban and population geography as a geographer, urban and regional planning, geomorphology, economic geography, cultural geography, music and the creative industries, biogeography, climatology, disaster management, or very, very much important right now, geographical information systems as one of those careers that you can pretty much travel with, and it's very portable as a career. So geographical information systems is really that perfect hybrid, and it's used by both the students, lecturers, and researchers in the department for all kinds of aspects of our work. It allows us to view, understand, question, interpret, and visualize data in many ways, not just in the 2 dimensions, but their 3D and video visualizations, time series visualizations that you're able to do. And so crossing over into geology, there's paleontology, volcanology. We have a number of active volcanoes in the Caribbean. Seismology, looking at earthquakes and earth motions. Hydrology, hydrogeology. Mineralogy, sedimentology. Petroleum and exploration geology. There have been finds in Guyana recently, and there's still oil exploration happening all over the Caribbean. There's planetary geology, marine geology, disaster management, and of course, curating and consulting jobs. And so I'd once again like to welcome you to the university, welcome you to the Department of Geography and Geology. And if you have any more questions, you can reach out to us at geoggeol@uemona.edu.jm or by calling 876-927-2129 for any further queries. Thank you so much.
Welcome to the university. Congratulations on your acceptance. My name is Mrs. Kisha McLeod-Martin. I am from the Department of Basic Medical Sciences. I am here to talk to you about doing biochemistry as a course this year. Biochemistry is generally located on one of the tallest buildings in the faculty. We have new labs with updated equipment. We are a part of the Department of Basic Medical Sciences, which has in 5 other sections: anatomy, pharmacology, physiology, physical therapy, and where we also offer forensic science as a master's program. So biochemistry is a part of that section. What is biochemistry, you may ask? Biochemistry is the study of chemistry in biological systems, and what we do is look at how biological systems function, their processes, the cycles that take place in these biological systems. And this will include humans, plants, animals, microorganisms, and viruses. So with biochemistry, we have where biochemistry serves as a core, we have different areas. So we have biotechnology, we have molecular biology, biophysics, immunology, pharmacology and toxicology, food science areas, medical science areas, neuroscience, plant biochemistry, and microbiology. And all of these serves as different areas where biochemistry is the core. In order to do biochemistry, what you are required to have is CAPE chemistry, both units of CAPE chemistry, units 1 and 2, and you're also required to have CSET biology in order to do our courses. For your first year in biochemistry, we have 4 level 1 courses where we introduce you to the different areas that are in biochem. We have BIOC 1020, which is cellular biochemistry. It's the theory part of the course where you're learning about different macromolecules and you're learning about the biological systems. Then we have the lab component, which is separate, where we do things like separation techniques, enzymatic analysis, and these form the core of doing a biochemical degree. Then the other area is called MICR 1010, which is Introduction to Microbiology and Molecular Biology, where you learn about microorganisms and you get a little bit of information about doing genetics. Apart from that, we also have the labs that are associated with that section, which is known as MICR 1011, where you learn to do basic aseptic techniques in culturing microorganisms, where you learn how to use a compound light microscope, where you learn how to do DNA extraction and DNA digest. Apart from doing those level 1 courses, if you intend to do a major in biochemistry, you're also required to have Chem 1901 and Chem 1902 in order to further your degree in biochemistry. In terms of progressions in biochemistry, once you've reached your second year, we have 3 level 2 courses, one that looks on biochemical systems, which is known as BIOC 214, and then that is done in the semester 1. And then after that, in semester 2, we have molecular biology 1 and microbiology, which basically builds on the basics that you have learned in first year. In terms of level 3, then we have majors that you can do. We do not offer any double majors or minors in the department. We only offer 4 majors in the department, one being a biochemistry major, the other one being biotechnology, microbiology, and molecular biology majors. And with each of those majors, you have core courses that are required in fulfilling those majors. Apart from doing your major, while you're doing your degree, you may decide that you want to do research later on. And so what we do is that we offer a research project, which is offered in our final year program. And what this does is that it exposes you to different areas in doing research. You get to develop your project, you carry out the research by yourself, and once you're finished, then what you will do is that you will make a final presentation and you will submit a research thesis which will be graded. And this helps you to determine whether or not you really want to continue in doing a research in the university. So, apart from doing biochemistry, we have found that students who combined their biochem majors with other majors within the faculty can build on in different areas. So if you decide to do biochemistry or biotechnology, molecular biology, and microbiology as your major, you could do it with either chemistry or life sciences, either as a major or as minor. And what that will help you to do is to do work in food sciences, in pharmacology and toxicology, neurosciences, biochemical engineering, drug testing, environmental sciences. If you combine it with math, physics, or computer sciences, then you can do things like bioinformatics systems. You can do nanotechnology. If you combine it also again with math and physics, you could do things like biophysics, artificial limbs and organs, biomechanics, climate change, population modeling. And so you're not solely bored down to only doing one major, but you can widen your horizon and choose other areas within the department to combine with our majors to enhance your degree. In order to do most of our degrees, you're required to do lab components along with them, and it's a combination of the labs and the lectures that allows you to pass our courses. We require you to have attendance to labs in order to complete our degree programs. Within the department, we have two clubs. We have the Biochemistry Club and we have the ASM Microbiology Club. The ASM Microbiology Club is associated with ASM America, which is the American Society of Microbiology. This is a local chapter. It exposes you to different job possibilities around the world in the area of microbiology. So you might be wondering, what can I do with my biochemistry degree? We have found that our graduates have been able to work in hospitals, they've been working in university labs, they can work in the food industry. Some people have even done their biochem degree and decided that they're going to do law afterwards, and so they end up being lawyers with a twist or a turn in doing environmental law. They can work in the cosmetic industries, they can do drug marketing, they can decide that they're going to publish books instead. So our graduates have found themselves in different job areas, such as the Scientific Research Council, the Forensic Lab, Grace Kennedy, different environmental labs, CEPROD, Benjamin's Federated Pharmacies. And so you will find that our graduates can be located in a wide variety of areas, from the alcohol industry to the drug industry, to the scientific research labs where we offer forensic programs. Thank you for your time.
Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Frederick Boyd from the Department of Life Sciences. The Department of Life Sciences is one of the largest departments that exists in the Faculty of Science and Technology. There are quite a few undergraduate students, roughly 1,000 undergrad students, with about 60 or so graduate students, with 20 academic staff supervising and directing research and teaching, and the support staff supports the academic staff and the students. In our department, we actually have two off-site entities which are part of the marine research. Two marine labs, Discovery Bay Marine Lab, which is located along the North Coast Highway in Discovery Bay, and lots of world-renowned research is being done at the Discovery Bay Marine Lab. Students actually go down and spend time there, whether undergraduate or graduate students, to do their research and their courses. Nearer to us, in Port Royal, we have the Port Royal Marine Lab, which is another site where marine biologists will carry out research, as you see in the inset slide. Dr. Dwight Robinson is the current head of the Department of Life Sciences. As you can see, he's a man who loves the field, okay, and he works easily between the field and his office and teaching and research. You'll see his email listed there as well. The Life Science undergraduate coordinators are Dr. Gail Prasad and myself, Dr. Frederick Boyd, and we are in the Life Science Department to help our students with whatever problems and issues they may have. A brief look at our courses, starting with our preliminary courses. We do accept students in the department who have not yet gotten their CAPE, or if they may have one CAPE. Preliminary biology is the course that is done. It's equivalent to CAPE biology and qualifies students to enter our biology program. You'll notice that there's one preliminary course per semester, and passing them successfully gets you into the level 1 and you start your degree. In the level 1, we have 4 courses which are run for approximately 6 weeks in each semester, starting with cell biology, then followed by molecular biology and genetics, where we learn a lot of the new diagnostic tools, followed by, in the second semester, taxonomy, which actually takes in all of the living organisms that surround us. Very interesting study of them. We recommend that when you register, you select the same lab and tutorial streams for all your courses. So for example, if you're doing 1017, followed by 1018, followed by 1262 and 1263, you ensure that you are registering for the same lab time, same day, etc. So it minimizes disturbances in your timetable. In order to complete a major in life sciences, you have to complete all level 1 courses. Some minors will allow you to be able to pass through some courses, but you will need to do all 4 level 1 courses successfully in order to do our majors. A number of courses from, for example, plant ecology. Our department is very strong on ecology, plant biotechnology. We also have oceanography, aquaculture, parasitology, immunology, many different lines which lead to working in ecology, working in medicine. There's economic botany, where there's a new opening in the world today of naturopathic doctors, etc., and lots of different work that is subtended by these courses. One of our majors, we have BSc in environmental biology, where you may either focus on land-based environmental biology or marine environmental biology. And we have some pictures here of students who are actively in the environmental biology program doing more than just learning about science. In our experimental biology, this major keeps you more in the lab, whereas environmental biology takes you out of the lab on field trips, etc. Here we see on the left a student using the Potter's Tower as they investigate some factor that affects insect distribution. Major in plant biology, studying plants. We see Professor Tennant there in one of the insets with her students as they carry out micropropagation and various studies on plants. We also have a herbarium, one of the largest herbariums in the region, with lots of specimens and information on them. The major in plant biology takes you through micropropagation, as we said before, medicinal botany and horticulture, etc. The animal biology major focuses a lot on the marine environment, but also on the aerial, with birds and insects, etc., pest ecology, and all the various elements of this animal biology major for those who are more interested in the animals. The marine biology major is one of our most common and largest majors. A lot of people are interested in this. We're an island surrounded by water, and so it makes sense that a lot of our students will be involved in marine biology. For this, it's highly recommended that you be able to swim and manage yourself in water, as this is a plus in helping you through the marine biology. The major in terrestrial and freshwater ecology involves mainly studying our rivers, many rivers on the north and east of the island in particular, and features a lot of field trips as students go and study various ecological factors associated with our water bodies on land. Terrestrial and freshwater ecology, closely related, where we do work within the lab, as you see in the bottom left, and on field trips and studying insects and various aspects of Jamaica's ecology. Then there is biology with education, as we accommodate our teachers who seek to develop teaching skills with a background in biology. And there are a number of courses, including our ecology courses, that is a part of this program. The Department of Life Sciences courses mix well with a number of other courses, for example, biochemistry and biotechnology. Chemistry, those are the two main ones that students do along with life science courses, but also physics, math, geography are other subject areas in our faculty that students will find very helpful. And even out of faculty courses such as mass communications, if you get into broadcasting and scientific journalism, etc., then management, you may very well end up having your own environmental company, and psychology, etc. Career options run the gamut from agronomist, plant pathologist, forest ecologist. Those are some of the plant science ones. We have freshwater biologists. We have micropropagation, fisheries, soil scientists, parasitologists, immunologists, etc. Other career options in the marine biology and in agribusiness, which is becoming more and more important for Jamaica. And you will see a number of these which are shown to you here. Okay, there's an important component, biological research, where in our final year, students are exposed to doing research on their own, guided by their supervisor, and this may lead you on to postgraduate work, as well as enriching your educational experience. The last thing we want to leave with you is that when you enter the university, don't be deterred by any challenges. Persevere against all odds. This is actually a picture of a lizard that was in my office for quite some months until I realized that it actually died still hanging on. So students need to hang tight and do well. Well, welcome to the University of the West Indies. Welcome to the Department of Life Sciences. We look forward to seeing you when the semester starts.
I'm Daniel Fokum. I'm here to talk to you about the offerings from the Department of Computing. So the department is home to 11 academics, and the head is Dr. Gunjan Mansingh, and there are two undergraduate coordinators, Paul Gaynor and myself, and the administrative support is provided by Mrs. Del Rita Young. So why computing? Computing is a superset of many disciplines formulated by the Association for Computing Machinery. And we'll just talk a little bit about what they are. Computer science, and we have a major in this, Bachelor of Arts or Bachelor of Science, is concerned with managing the complexity of implementing computation, looking at principles of hardware and software design. Software engineering is concerned with the efficient development of large software systems, whereas information technology is concerned with applying computation to real-world problems. We have a BSc in information technology, and we have a software engineering major, as well as the software engineering mobile application technologies program where students spend 2 years in the Caribbean and then 2 years in China. We also have information systems, which is concerned with looking at the impact of computation on people and organizations. This discipline is covered through the computer studies option, where students cover courses in computing, mathematics, and some courses in economics or accounting from social sciences. We have had the computer systems engineering program, but that is not being offered in the upcoming academic year. Now, what do you need to major in computing? All you need are 2 units of a CAPE science subject. And what might be a CAPE science subject? Biology, chemistry, physics, pure maths, or computer science. So if you have 2 units of those, you're good to go. If you're studying, any of the computing disciplines, at a minimum, in the first year, you're going to need to study Introduction to Computing 1 and 2 in the first semester. The Intro to Computing 1 takes the first 6 weeks of the semester, and then the Intro to Computing 2 course, the next 6 weeks of the semester. In the second semester, you're going to take object-oriented programming, and then there are courses in mathematics for computer science, which you can do either in first semester or the second semester, and also one in computing and society, the impact of computation on society. Now, by the second year, you would have learned enough to develop interactive websites. Some of the course highlights for the second year include courses like software engineering, where students are actually going to implement a software system of their choice to solve some problem. You also have a course in dynamic web development. So students learn how to do web development. Net-centric computing, where students learn about networks like the internet, how we're able to build a network of that scale. And then there are courses in computer architecture and organization as well. And then by the third year, we're going to have the group project, which gives students a chance to put things together, things that they've learned throughout the program, to solve some problem. So in years past, we've seen students design, for example, a hardware-software solution to secure student laptops or backpacks in the computer lab. We've also seen a case where students have developed a system to schedule exams here at the university. So this is a chance for you to develop, for students to develop a system that could have an impact that's as wide-ranging, say, as Google or Facebook. There's also the internship course, where students spend a semester working with an organization, a business organization, on some and working on a computational task. And the organization interfaces with the university, the department, to make sure that the students are actually doing something that is related to computing. And in the upcoming year, we're also going to introduce a course where students are going to do development for mobile. So, chance to work on things that are relevant to society. All right. Where do our students go? You can get the job as a software developer or engineer. Some of our students, for example, have worked on programming the interfaces for some of the ABMs that you see for the Jamaican banks. You can work as well in telecommunication services, so developing new applications for cellular phones or web developers or just a general programmer or analyst. Emerging these days are roles as data scientists, or doing things like database administration, network or system administration, or support and testing and training. We also have students who are working as security professionals, so doing penetration testing to see if systems are vulnerable to being hacked. And I just want to include this quote from the World Economic Forum report. It says, emerging in-demand roles, among the range of established roles that are set to experience increasing demand in the period up to 2022 are data analysts and scientists, software and application developers, and e-commerce and social media specialists, roles that are significantly based on and enhanced by the use of technology. And of course, in the midst of this pandemic, you've seen the need for lots of technology professionals. Right? We're all working from home, depending on our networks, for example, and software. Okay, so where have our graduates gone? They've become computer scientists, software engineers, IT specialists. Some of our graduates have found positions with Google, Apple, Goldman Sachs, NCB, and many others. You can also become lecturer or researcher. Many of our lecturers in the department are also graduates of the department. You can become an innovator or an entrepreneur. What about extracurricular activities? Well, the main one is the Computing Society, and this club meets on Thursday afternoons during the semester, traditionally. Things would obviously have to change slightly in the upcoming semester just because of the global pandemic. You also have the chance to take part in programming contests. There are hackathons. This picture here is a picture of a number of our students who are taking part in a hackathon about 2 years ago. Then there is the opportunity to take part in the intercollegiate programming contest. This one is a contest where students get about 4 hours to solve different programming challenges and they're pitted. The students who are taking part in these contests are participating sometimes against students regionally and also in other nations. There's the IEEE Extreme, which is a 24-hour extreme programming contest. It's done virtually. Students get 24 hours to solve problems, and these problems come out every so many hours. And the students who solve the most problems over that window are declared the winners. So there is ongoing research. Here we have a number of the research groups listed. So there's CIPHER, that looks at intrusion and forensics. That's led by Dr. Busby Earle. And then complex systems modeling, that is led by Professor Danielle Kerr. Computer networking, led by myself. Dr. Mansingh leads a group that works on knowledge discovery and intelligent systems. And then Dr. Ashley Hamilton-Taylor has a group that looks at simulation and visualization. And Dr. Claudine Allen leads a group that looks at software engineering. So if you have more questions, you can contact the department. The department's main email address is computing@uemona.edu.jm. And if you have other questions about the undergraduate program, you can either contact me, and my email address is listed on the slide, or Dr. Paul Gaynor, and his email address is listed on the slide as well. Thank you very much for your attention.
So we've come to the end of our little virtual pre-orientation session. And I would like to just say thank you to all our departments who came and made presentations, our department reps. You did an excellent job. Thank you to our colleagues from the Health Center, the bursary, and from the Guild office, and Dr. Mansingh for providing us with so much detailed and very important information. We are pleased that you stayed with us and spent the time to learn a little bit more about the faculty that will be your home for the next 3 years, maybe even longer if you decide to do postgraduate work with us. And we are most pleased, particularly because you have chosen the Faculty of Science and Technology, the University of the West Indies, to be your place to shine. Have a good day, everybody. Thank you.